Hi guys, Dan Cooper here from Production Expert, and in this video review I'm going to be taking a look at Neutron by iZotope. Now Neutron is a mixing plugin, and if I had to stick it in a category, I would say it's a channel strip. We've got EQ, Transient Shaper, Exciter, a couple of compressors, in and out trim with a limiter on the output. All pretty basic stuff, until you play with this feature at the top here called Track Assistant. Now what is Track Assistant? Now what I'm going to do is run a kick drum through this and show you. So the plugin's set to default, nothing going on under the compressors, Transient Shaper. Now let's hit Track Assistant and hear what this does. Listen to the kick drum. So it's analysing. Okay, so it's given us an EQ curve. And it's given us some compression settings as well. Exciter. Let's bypass it. Sounds great. Now let's try this on the snare drum as well. It's the same process. Track Assistant. Okay, similar sort of things, giving us an EQ curve here. Now what's nice is that we can adjust this further, so I'm going to try and get that ring out the snare drum. It's about there. I'd say that sounds quite nice, but let's be a little bit more brutal with that snare, with the compression. And the exciter, let's push it a bit more. Before and after. What's nice is that we're not using presets. This technology is listening to your audio and making very good decisions of how to process that audio. Now, I've never really been a fan of EQ or compressor presets because they're just too rigid or static, and one size does not fit all. Now this, because of its technology and it's listening to everything, it is tailoring your EQ curves and your compressor settings and all that sort of stuff to your music, which is brilliant. Now, let me just show you a few more features. So, obviously we've got the EQ and the Transient Shaper and the Exciter and everything at the top there, but we can reposition these. Makes it nice and easy. The Transient Shaper is really nice. It's a 3-band Transient Shaper. Same with the compressor. We've got 3 bands we can engage, which is really nice. Same with the other compressor. Right, let me show you another feature that I really like in Neutron, and it's called EQ masking. And what it does is it helps you to sit 2 instruments together. So I've got this on the bass guitar. This instance is the bass. And I've got another instance on my stereo piano. That instance is called piano. And at the top here, this one's called bass, as you can see. Now, if I hit masking and tell this bass instance to look at the piano instance, because I've got this set up on vocals and all sorts of things in this mix, this EQ curve at the bottom here is the one in the piano instance, as you can see here. And whatever I do here with EQ, for instance, if I pull this down, that EQ curve has been carried over to this. Now, let me just hit play. We've got the sensitivity slider here that lets us adjust how sensitive the meter is to displaying the problem frequencies between the 2 instruments. Then we can just reach down below and make our EQ choices between the 2 instruments, which is great. Now let me give you an example of the piano and the bass. Again, I've run these through with the Track Assistant, and I'll just bypass them and bring them back in again so you can hear the differences like we did with the kick and snare drum earlier, just again so you can hear how this Track Assistant works. So what are my final thoughts on Neutron by iZotope? Well, I think it's a very clever plugin, and I really do think, honestly, that this is going to help me so much in my workflow. So many times I'm mixing and I just need some ideas sometimes of how to best present certain tracks. I think this is kind of more of a virtual mix assistant that just gives ideas. You know, what do you think about this snare drum sound? Or what do you think about this kick drum sound? And what's nice is that under the settings, we can actually adjust the behaviour of the track assistant as well. So we have subtle, medium and aggressive here for the track assistant modes, and 3 different styles of track assistant preset. So in the short time that I've been using this, I must say I am so impressed with it. And for that reason, I'm awarding this a Pro Tools Expert Editor's Choice Award. Thanks to our friends over at Time+Space for sorting us out a copy for this review. Get yourself the demo and have a go of Neutron for yourself, and let us know what you think of it in the comments below. I've been Dan from Production Expert, and thanks for watching.